81655.
What's this thing? Okay, everyone, welcome back. Today is our robotics training, and as I said earlier on, we need to understand something about robotics. It has come to stay, with us. Even the AI, as in, it's now in a different level. Okay, it has gone into AI level. When we talk about AI level, what are we talking about now? The robotics is not just using battery or whatever. It's now acting, as an intelligent coupled coupled pieces. Okay, very intelligent, however, artificial intelligence. Okay, now we're going to be talking about the parts of a robot. Okay, because for you to be a pro, in order to connect, in order to couple these robots, you must know the parts. So there are important parts in a robot, and those parts are actually what makes it intelligent. Okay, so you must have those parts because the parts must work together to make the robotic, or rather the robot, work well. All right, so today we'll be talking about the car robot. That's what we'll be talking about and trying to fix it, couple it together. I had all this as rules in my class. Okay, so today we are starting with a part of robot that we call the controller. So why we talk about that robots are intelligent is because most of the parts now act like the human parts. For example, the controller is equal to the brain. Okay, and there's something about this controller when you see it. Okay, however, before we talk about parts of the controller and how it looks and everything, I want to remind us that we have different companies that have come together to say, okay, I think I want to go into robots, and they build their stuffs and name it different things. For example, the one we are working with is called Crumble, Crumble, Crumble. Okay, and this particular Crumble company that came out to package all these things and start doing robots for us, they are using a method, for primary school level, secondary school, university, so and even people that are already at work. Okay. However, the one they designed for our primary school and secondary school children are the one that can be very easy for them. It's called plugins. Okay, some people call it blocks. All right, so they're actually the same. All right, so what you should know here is that the pieces look like block. That's how I relate it so that it doesn't confuse me. Okay. The pieces are always looking like block. So why they're calling it plugin for me, as I explained to my children so that it will be easy, is because we are going to, you see that one letter is not in this plugin aspect that you see it. It's not in this coupling aspect that you see it. You need to know all these things because those are the fundamentals so that it doesn't confuse you. You don't get confused. And I don't know who else has worked with what's it called, companies robots or any type of robot, because there's another one they call Scratch. I don't know, Vivian, are you here? Do you know about Scratch? I just remembered.
Yes, we do Scratch. We did. I taught them Scratch also. We developed
Yes.
games, and we use it to develop
Yes,
games.
exactly. So
Yeah, right.
Scratch is like Crumble, yes, but it's just that honestly speaking, I've worked with Scratch and I've worked with Crumble. I'll tell you that Crumble is so interesting and so easy. So if you can do
Hey,
Scratch,
Scratch.
yeah.
I'm even saying Scratch. That Scratch is very easy because the blocks are already there. All you need to do is, your X, Y, this one, vertical, horizontal. Just know what you want, and you're good
Mm.
with.
Okay,
Yes.
maybe that's the aspect you reached. Like now, the only way why I'm saying crumble is easy because let's say the difference between the crumble is that I feel Scratch has already done everything for everyone for people. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
uh Yes, anyway, but this one, they did not really do everything for you. So you have to, like, you have to, with the
Mm,
knowledge of Scratch, let me say that.
mm,
So you have to do it like as you are plugging now here, you're the one that will write it and put the command. Okay, let me ask you a question. In Scratch, did your children get to the level of they will make the let's say they will give the car robot a command and it will carry out the command? Did they get to that level?
No, we did not do car robots in common. What we did was making it speak, say hello, you know,
Ah,
write stories
okay.
with it, dance
Oh,
and all that, act
okay.
drama, and also develop a game using
Okay.
Scratch. Maybe I
Okay.
will look
I
into
understand.
developing a car robot. So it's possible to use it doing Scratch with it, right?
That yeah, yes, it is, but is another package. The one you guys have is
Okay.
for that. Yes, so it's another piece that is packaged for it. Do you get?
Mm,
Yes. Yes. So this particular robot, it can move as a car. You tell it to move forward. You tell it to move backwards. You tell it to reverse. You can
mm,
even tell it to show light when it meets an obstacle. For example, it gives an idea of the police car. The time they blinking, that red blinking, this robot car will do it as they are speeding for emergency or the ambulance emergency stuff. This Crumble does it. Is very interesting. Let me continue. So,
mm,
why I'm saying this is that the brain carries everything. Now, this brain you are looking at, it has a place where it places you place the battery. You will also see the battery. This crystal on top, that's where the battery comes. So, you will see everything one after the other. Now, we move to this. This is what one of the pieces of this crumble. Okay. So, this piece now is red. Notice that we now have a red piece. Just look at how the piece is. It has a screw where you can screw something. It has opening where you can also put in another screw. That's what I want you to know about this. Because it's just a body. This one is not like it's anything, but it's a body, but it belongs to a part of a place. But I will show you later. Now we have this too. Okay. So this particular one is also red in color. Remember, we are just seeing red colors. Okay. And this particular one also is designed for is actually called like sensors. Okay. Imagine two of them are not the same. You can see that this one is like just a body, complete. It helps us to couple a body. But this particular one you're looking at is for sensors. It is a sensory one. It helps for different kinds of a thing. It can be for maybe they looking at as in observing an obstacle from the distance. Okay. Now we have another one or noise. Okay, right now this particular one, look at it, they are not the same. Oh. You can see this one doesn't have a black knob on top. It doesn't have any black knob on top, but this one has. Okay, so like I said, different companies might have different things, but most times their colors are the same, especially if they are operating on the same kind of stuff. For example, the plug-in method or the block method. Okay, so now when you look at this now, this one, as you see, this is for sound. Is for you can see this is for sound. Is a sensory piece too. So it's maybe for example, we are building a car. So if it wants to, maybe when you hear horn, boom, 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 boom from a car, is this sensor that helps that car to make that boom, 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 the horning sound. Okay. All right. So we have the blue one now, right? Now, these blue ones are called activators. Okay. They are, so I've finished with the red ones, right? So this particular blue one, you can see the button is a button one. So it means that at times you might have to press something for something to happen. Okay. Now, the
mm,
red ones are like, yes, the red ones are like, let me use another thing. You know, the sensors that when you are coming close to a glass, a crystal, it will just open for you. Those kind of doors. Eh?
yeah.
Kind of doors. Those kind
Yes.
of
Yes.
doors, yes, they have this sensor. Okay, that they are operating on this sensor. So they know that when you are coming, they have programmed it. When you are coming, they will immediately obey the command that has been programmed on for them. But these blue buttons, they will wait you to press that thing. You understand? So you have to press something or order something. You understand? It's not gonna be automatic. Do you get? So it's just like, for example, now you want to switch off the light. You will go and you have a button and switch it off. It's not true. You understand? So all these things, but then another thing I want to tell you that all these pieces, their names are written on their body. So you won't actually be confused. Okay. So we have another one, the line sensor. Okay. All right. This line sensor now, you can see, for example, a car. Now, a car is moving. Let's say a car is moving, and it dictates a line with this kind of sensor. There's something you will press. The system knows that, oh, I can't pass this line, or I have to walk on. In fact, it's like an extra kind of command because these children, if they activate this particular piece, they can tell it to just drive or move on a line. You can see where this tiny robot is trying to move on this line. Okay, so these sensors, they all depends on what you want them to, achieve for you. Okay. Which other one? I wanted to say something. I wanted to say something. This one is also the eye, the sensor, the line sensor. This is the light. So some of them, there are some piece too. They're after light. Like maybe what can I use now? The light. Maybe when they see stuff. Okay, for example, the police car that I said. So the police car now operates on this. The children activate it so that when they are coming, maybe there's emergency, they press it and then the light will start blinking, boom, 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 boom. Is this piece that helps it? And it's written on it, light sensor. Okay. Now we have a jack cable. This jack cable is what we use to connect the piece that we have finished coupling to our laptop in order to program it. The cable is always having this kind of end end wires, end cables. It must
Mm.
always have this kind of, it cannot be the plug-in on the, it's not the one that we plug into the for charger. No, it's just the one that we use to connect what we have built, what we have coupled to our laptop in order to give the command. Okay.
Okay.
Now we have another one. Okay, we have the battery. Of course, you know that every robot now, if you want it to move away from not the electricity light, okay, you must put a battery. Like this one we are using because they are children. This is the kind of battery we use. And battery is what makes it to keep functioning, go around, do a lot of things. It's like our heart. I told you that what made the person, whoever is it that started this robotics, or himself and his team, they looked at the body function. You understand? So they also have to use yes, and they said the battery is equivalent to our heart. Imagine if this battery dies, what will happen to the robot? It will
It's
not
not
move
power
again.
supply. Yeah.
Exactly. So is the baba of the babas. That's like our heart. Okay. So now we also have, remember I showed you the other cable I called jack cable. We also
Mm.
have the USB cable. Okay. So the USB cable too is not the one we connect to the whatever. The USB cable is also what we use to connect the sensors together. I will explain but better too. Now we have all the pieces here now. So in a robotics or even Lego, we have all these things and they cannot stand alone. That's why those skeleton is acting that way, because if they can stand alone, if skeleton cannot stand alone, you will see it wobbling. If they don't have all their pieces together, you will see them wobbling up and down. So all these pieces must come together. They are each and every one of them are very important for one thing or the other. Okay. Now let me start. All of them have names
So
that we
before
call
you
it.
continue, can you send me this your slide after the not just the slide?
Yes, I will.
Let me use and do a recap.
Okay, I will, no problem. So now, this what you are looking at here now, okay, all of them they have their names. Okay. Now, for example, you can see this flat one that is white. You just count words there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, right? But it's 2 by 6. Okay, so we call it 2 by 6 plate. It's called a plate, 2 by 6 plates. So when the children are walking, they can always say, "Oh, mama, I don't have 2 by 6 plates. I need 2 by 6 plates." You understand? So
Mm.
that's the language they use. You understand? So they already know what is 2 by 6 plates. You understand? Now they could just like the other ones now, like this one is 2 by 2, that green one. I hope you
Mm.
understand that part. Now,
Yeah.
if you move to the other one, okay, we have that one that these ones that look like that are not that so flat, they are not plates. We call them the blocks. So those blocks you can see. This one has 1, 2, 3. They also count it to say it is this block I need. Like the smallest one now is 2 block because it has that hole 1, 2. Okay, so the children says, I'm looking for the block. I'm looking for the plate. Which block are you looking for? Which plate do you want? So we have this block too. This block we also call it 2 by 2 block. That's the black one there. 2 by 2 block. But these ones are single blocks. So this ones we call it 2 by 2 blocks. We also have like maybe 2 by 4 blocks. I'm just telling you, it's just the few of them we have here. Okay, it's just for you to know the basic. You can always then use it to know the other ones. These are the basic ones that should appear here. Now we have this knob here. This knob, that red knob, for the wheel. Okay, we have the wheel. We all know the wheel. The children will even call it for you immediately. Now this brown or arch something it goes into the wheel. Is sorry, this one is the tire. Sorry, this is the wheel. The ash like stuff is the wheel that goes into the tire. Okay. Now we have this one that looks like seat. It's actually called a seat, but you will still count the openings, the holes to know is it this by this seat. Okay. Now we now have the ones that look like pencil. Okay. Some people actually call it the short pencil, or you can say the tube. Okay, the black tube, the gray tube, and the small tube or the long tube, they have the medium tube. It all depends. All of them cannot be here. So now I've told you we have learned how to name all these things when we are walking, when we are coupling, because when we are coupling you will always hear the children saying, I cannot find my piece, I cannot find my piece. Is normal. Is normal for kids. So you can always you might be with one child and another child is at the other end asking you, please, ma, can I have the brown tube? So because they have to know all this. So now then before you might even try to help, another person has said, oh, I have to, you can take one. That's it. Okay. Now, um, now there's something about working with all the coupling all these things, okay? Especially for the car we are facing, because we are using a car robot as an example. It could not be a car robot, it could be any other one. So trying to couple it must not be the same thing unless you are dealing with a car. So when you are dealing with a car, it will always have to, whatever, you must always do this part and this part. Whatever you couple on the first part is what you couple on the other second part, and later you join them together. Why? Because when you can divide a car into two equal parts, don't mind what is inside the car, but you can divide the car into two equal parts, yes or no? Yes, right? Hello?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
So yes, don't worry, you'll understand everything. I'm just taking it as I did the slide. So when you divide a car into two parts, it means that you will do the first part that has been divided, do the other one, then they will couple it. But if I'm in a class, what I normally do, I'll group the children. One group will be doing one part, the other group will be doing the other part. When they finish, they will couple it together. So it's very easy. You understand? Yes, because the children can really take time. It's not how you do it that the children will come and do it. You understand? Now, when you are coupling a car, there's something, it's very easy because you will even have the map there with you, like it for a teacher, it's very easy. Okay. So, like I said, these are the body. Okay. So it will, even the, what's it called? The map you have will guide you. You as a teacher, you will do it first, before you come to the classroom. Otherwise, it will mess you up. What I mean by messing you up is that you might just get confused which one. So you practice it first, get used to it. By the time you get used to it, you know it's nothing. You might not even be before you know it, you've left your table to walk around and be helping the kids. So this one, I brought this one out because I'm trying to tell everybody that this is the body. These are the pieces, how you can couple, what the pieces are all about. That black one that we call that I called the block, or the what else? There's another name they call it, or the pillar. The block or the pillar. That black one is not
Mm.
four, but it's a single pillar. That one is just like a supporter. It helps. It's always like a supporter that things come to it. The plates are always on it. If you check, the plates are always on it. Then this red one is like a body that stands, and then plates also goes to it. But the pillars are like supports. This red one you are looking at are the main bodies, like the body parts. Body parts are different from the person that is supporting. So you take it like
Mm.
these pillars are like the bones, okay? Like the bones, like these red ones are like the bodies, like the maybe muscles trying to connect to the bones. That's
Can
how
you
we
call it the frame?
eh?
Is it part of the frame?
Yes, they are all frame, but I'm trying to divide it so that as in the way the children's language, you understand, the way they will understand.
Mm.
When you like now this pillar, when you call it the bone, the children understand that it will stand and support all of them. You understand? Now, when you tell them that the plates now attach themselves to the pillar. They already know, so that all you're here doing is to help them to understand which one is attaching on which one, so that when they start making mistakes, because my sister, they will make mistakes. So that when they start making mistakes, you see somebody saying, but you are attaching the plate you are not attaching the plate on the pillar, on the supporter. You understand? Meanwhile, the red one is just like a muscle, or rather a flesh. You understand? No, it's the plates that are the flesh, the muscles trying to attach other things to the skeleton that the bone that is standing, the bone that is standing. We have different bones before we can call it a skeleton. You understand? Don't worry, I'll still continue. You will understand better. So,
Mm. And
for example, here now, you can see the red I called the red the muzzle. It's like the muzzle standing, and the plates are like the skin, trying to cover up things. You understand?
yeah.
So if you say it like this, the children understand when they will start complaining in case they make mistakes. Because once you make a mistake here, it will affect the robot. It will not function well. Now, it's also the muscles that connect the nerves, right? So that wire you are seeing there are like the nerves coming out from the muscles. You understand?
Yeah.
uh So the children now knows, the kids, especially because they know they've learned biology, and especially when we talk about intercurriculum. So they are learning robotics. They're also thinking that they're bringing science into it. In fact, that's why I started with whoever did this made sure that they went for human body, the way human body function. Okay. And remember, I told you that the car, I'm dividing it into two. So one person is doing this part, the other person is doing the other part. Later, we come and couple it together because we have something that will help us to seal it together. All right. It's still trying to as in trying to let the children know that they are building this car robots, put the structure, put the bodies on it, okay? Trying to make sure excuse me, they show them the different parts, okay? Now, the other one is still, in fact, here they are doing it one after the other. Like now, if you look at this place, they brought the red. You can see that red. So children will bring the red. They will also follow them and put those skeletons, the bones, that's the pillars, and then put the skins, attach it. Then they will go back again. After this one, what's the next thing? Is a green plate that has extra thing that was attached is green plate. After it, which one? They attach two green plates, and now there's a box, or rather, what's it called again? I've forgotten what I called it. I've forgotten the name. Oh, Jesus, I'm so sorry. The block, okay? So they have put another extra thing, another extra stuff on it. If you turn again, there's another extra thing. The children are putting another block. So they're following it step by step to build this particular robot that we said is a car robot. Then you turn again. Now, they have built, because they have finished building that robot two side by side, different people, group one and group two. Okay. So they are trying to bring it together to know if it can actually click. Because how you will know is that the openings to also fix it, we face it to each other so that it can fix together. Otherwise, if it did not work, it means that you have faced it the other round. because these plates can actually work on the other side. So some children might go and put it the other side. Meanwhile, it's not it. Remember, you are going to couple with your own partner. But this thing might not be applicable for another, maybe robots, maybe another robot, like I said, an agricultural robot. It might not work like this. It might be a different thing. But with this idea, any robot that the school buys, it will help the children understand, okay, for us to be fast, because we have other classes. This group do this group do this. When we finish, we are coupling it. But then you will see it also in their map. So it will not be that difficult too. So by the time they finish, you can see they have brought A and B, or rather side one and side two together. Now we have 4 pillars. You can remember that the car is now building. Okay. Now we are using those tubes or the screws to put it inside and screw it up. Those screws or the tubes are to tighten it up, tighten everything. So it's to tighten it up so that all those things will not fall apart, because they have confirmed it here. If you check here, is mirror they are using to check, is everything balanced? Yes. They're comparing the two sides and they have accepted yes. So before you now use the screw to tighten it up so that we know that this particular piece we are done, we have finished is done and it cannot scatter. So the screw helps us to tighten up and look for the next step to do. And this next step to do is this one. They have started building another part of that car. So they put the the box again. They've put another box in front. Okay, put another screw. So this screw is tightening another box, another this thing. All these things, once you see a screw, it means that the first thing that has happened has finished, and we are tightening it to say we are done with this part. We are moving to another part. That's what screw does. Okay. So you can see they're still building and putting the screws to tighten up. Okay. And then here, there's something they talked about science. When we are doing this, we're also relating to other courses. Okay. It's still building and tightening it's still adding extra stuffs. Add another thing, tighten it up, and know that you are done with that stuff. And remember when we started, I said every piece means a lot. Otherwise, the skeleton will be wobbly. Okay. Now they have put the seat. If you look at that seat. So why are we putting all these things? Somebody can ask, one of the children might ask, but why are we even wasting our time putting all these things up and down, up and down? Well, that child is correct though. We're just putting all these things because of so many things. Children might ask you that question. We're adding all these, we're adding all the pieces, all these plates, all these stuffs, because if you really want to add sensors, sensors know, like now, look at this plate. You can see the plate has all these knobs. So when you want to add different sensors, you need spaces that you can put sensors to function, to do one function or the other. Because if you don't have a lot of it, it might just have, you might just end up having only two sensors or activators that you can put. Do you understand? Hello?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So for example, now you can see those seats now. Those provided extra places we can add our sensors. Okay, and look at this side of the skin of the car. It also has the plate. It has all these 2x7. So the plate helps us to attach what's it called, the sensors and the actuators. Yes. Okay. So what else? Now here, actually, I put this cat here, as in to tell the children that we are now moving to a higher, like on like another level. You understand? Because this is where we'll now be talking about trying to fix the what's it called? Trying to fix the main person who is the controller, that's the brain. However, I also want them to notice something, because there's the short plate and also the long plate. So when you are doing all these things, you are thinking of how to make it, children, how they learn their language. So you are thinking of so many things you bring in so that when they look at it, they're like, oh, I can relate to it. And it will always help them remember. Like you see this part. Once I bring it up, my kids are like, because what I do is that when I finish teaching, I'll scatter everything. The next day we're going to start afresh, and I'll not time them. And you see how fast they want to be doing, because I'll have them into groups. So they will be so fast. We'll be like, okay, who is the first person? When did you finish? We write down the time and all that. After, I'll just try to give them one or two things, hey, you are the winner, hey, sticker, that kind of a thing. Uh-huh. So when most of them when they come here, they're like, wow, so we are really making it. And then they might even make this sound, oh long on the long side. So it helps them know that don't put this thing on the shorter part of the robot, put it on the long one. So this is like my own extra thing, to make my class cool, to make my children to even know, are they even participating, are they enjoying what they are doing. As a teacher, I have to know all these things, take note of what's happening in my class. Okay, so this is it, me adding this. Okay, it's not like it's one big thing like that, don't mind me. All right, so now we also have this. You can see, as I told you, that part is making me letting them know that get ready. It's becoming more interesting. Okay, so this is the part where we start trying to bring cables. That's why I put that thing that is becoming something else. Okay, so that's the palette, or the what's it called again, or the box that helps, the single box that helps them start tying the, you can see the extra thing I added. It helps them start tying the connecting the, what's it called, the cable. Okay, and this cable are bringing out their head, because they are the ones that will now link themselves to the battery. That from now, the battery we are linking to sensors and actuators. Okay, all right, so you can now see the battery. I told you first when we brought out that battery, that the controller, that is the brain, and I told you that the look at, you can see that the brain, that's the controller. I told you that the battery will be coming on top of this what's it called, on top of the controller. So you can now see where I brought it, that's where it will be. So it all depends. The battery always looks for the controller. The battery and the controller are what actually keeps our life. Even human beings like that, they are the ones that function for you to know that this person is alive. If you cut off someone's leg, the person will still be good, alive. If you cut off, I used to explain all these things to the kids. You understand? But imagine when the heart is stabbed. Oh my God, I will make even that. I will be like, oh, my heart is broken. My heart, the children will start laughing and all that. Some will say, hey, please, who broke your heart? Let's collect it back. We need you. That kind of a thing. Uh-huh. So now, when you fix this battery to couple it with this, the battery and the brain, like the heart working with the brain always, you have to think not just with your heart as a feeling, you have to think with your brain. I try to let these children, depending on the class I'm teaching, because these courses are always for ages 7. 7 also do it, but you will use their language from ages 7, depending on, there's a way that they also treat that one, from ages 7 to 18. They are the ones that use this, because some children are still in their, as in here, they finish school 16. They now do, there's a course they normally do, what's it called, bachelor, whatever, I don't know how they pronounce it anyway, but they do it for that 1 year. When they come out from school 16, they do it. It's just for them to know, are you going to be a science student, are you going to be an art student, or you're going to just do a vocational course to start your business or whatever. So they do that, another year. So most of them also come for all this training. You understand? So the robot is built now. Okay, the battery has connected with the heart and everything is set except the tire. Okay, except the wheels. Okay, so everything, once the battery is fixed, and the what's it called, the battery is with the heart, everything is already set. Because here now, those wires that came out, you will still see them. Now the wires that came out, okay, they are still attaching the white plates, because other sensors can also come in there. We are trying to make sure so that when we build this thing, we're not going to say, hey, I want to do this program, I don't have anywhere to put my sensor. Some children, you find that maybe they don't have their seats, this thing, they'll be screaming for, I cannot put my sensor, I need another. Children are like that. Okay, now you can see, still trying to make sure that that pallets and plates are enough, sufficient for us to, so that when we start programming, maybe we are saying we want this robot to reverse, we want it to do whatever, so that we know that, okay, everything is okay for us. We're not going to start scattering it to look for another plate to put and all that. All right. Now they are adding the wheels. You can see the palette that is like square, trying to be with hey, what's the name of this red one? I called it again. I've forgotten. Um, the anyway, the circular plate. So they attached it in order to lift up the car. You know, the car, if you look at the robot, is flat on the surface, on the floor. So you have to attach that stuff to just lift it up. Every other robot we have it this thing, but all these things gives us idea of what each and every stuff could function for. Okay. So this is still where they are trying to now, attach because they will show the children, take it up, do this, couple it. This red one always works with this black knob and all that. Okay. So here is like keeping the silence to let everybody, to make sure that everybody connected perfectly well, because the robot is already set. Okay. To make sure that everything is done completely well. And then this place is like telling them that the real job has begun. You understand? So they put the wheels, okay? You put the wheels, the four wheels, the children are taught how to put it. The wheels goes into the tire, and then you use the knob or the screw to fix it. And then from here, the the wheels are done. We are now going to connect. Remember the wire when I told them, the wire is set. So the wire is now brought out. It depends on what you are doing. The wire must always come to connect with the battery, okay? Because that battery is under. So the wire is connected to the battery. You might not see it, but you will see that, you will see the spaces they gave. You will see it, and it will also be on the map I told you about. So it was the first wire they connected, and they will tell you that this first wire will go to this place, the second wire will go to that place. So it's not a difficult one. They always put down that thing. They're also careful about that. They will put it. Now the robot is complete. So this car robot is having the is movable now. It has the wheels and is movable. Okay. So this is where we have completed at the building of our robot. So I will now be going in for the commands. Okay. And I have to move here. I don't know if you have a question, sorry. Any question for me before I move in for the commands, because it is set now. We have built our robotic car. So now is for us to go in for the commands for programming the robot. Hello? Any question? Okay, in the absence of no question, let me continue. Wait, Vivian, have you gone? Let me know. Hey, Vivian did not tell me again before leaving. Okay. Um, so in the absence of no question, any other person, any question? All right. I'll be going in for the robotics, for the programming. One moment, please. I need to open the folder for programming.
My battery is down. I want to leave.
Okay, no problem. So I'm done with coupling. Now